Salud mi gente, what's coming through once again. Before we continue with this video, do not forget to hit the like, subscribe to the channel. For those who've been showing love and support, I do highly appreciate every single one of you guys, man. As many of you guys know, the son of Big U got unalive, man. Sadly, but that is the streets of LA, man. You know, you play, and sometimes, or most of the times, you pay the price. And one thing that we know, possibly there's gonna be some retaliation, man. You know, nobody knows who did it. Everybody's pointing fingers that this neighborhood did it, this other neighborhood did it. Not more specific one, but who knows, man? Nobody knows. Simple as that. What they do know is that a car pulled up next to a Big U's son. I don't know if that car called him. He approached that car, and they did what they did, right? I mean, come on, man. You can't. If a car that you don't know calls your name, where are you going to approach it? So, either that guy knew who they were, or he was just naive. Simple as that. No disrespect intended, right? What we're going to know, or what we expect, is the retaliation, right? How long it's going to take. And apparently some channels, they're already reporting that retaliation already happened from the rolling 60s, man. We don't know if this is true. We don't know, and we don't care if Big U has something to do with this. But this is what is put out there already on the internet. And I'm going to give you my opinion when it comes down to this, right? So let me just tell you what these people are saying. And there's two channels. One is picking up views like crazy, right? Basically, they're saying that there was a shooting in where some guys did a drive-by with the Tesla, right? Hitting 3 people. And because this happened an hour and a half after the incident with the Big U son, they're connecting both of those cases, man. First of all, let's just be realistic about this. Shootings in LA, they happen all the time, man. It's nothing rare, right? It's nothing rare. Right now, in LA, there's a lot of things going on, man. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of people pointing fingers to different neighborhoods and stuff like that. Maybe the neighborhood don't even have nothing to do with it. But they're pointing fingers. People are creating content naming these neighborhoods, man. And guess what happens? People see it and say, oh, it was there. Wait, let's get our paybacks. Let's go get our paybacks, you know? I feel sometimes that social media can be so irresponsible. Pointing a finger for whatever reason. Because they want the clicks, of course. But nobody knows who did it. Nobody knows what happened, man. And everybody's making assumptions. First of all, let's just address this incident, right? This shooting in where 3 people got hit. Who does a drive-by on a Tesla, man? Come on. For reals? These guys, they must have bread or I don't know, man. Who does drive-by on a Tesla? It's basically going to the police station, man. Calling them. Hey, man, can you follow my car? I'm about to commit a crime right now. So you're driving with the cops behind you. And then you do a drive-by right there in front of the cops. That Tesla has a lot of cameras, man. It's going to pinpoint locations. And I heard, okay, well, if it's the battery's at 20%, the camera is not going to record. Come on, man. You think that the vehicle is going to be at 20%? You think people who are going to do a crime, you're going to be like, hey, man, can we just cruise around so the percentage of the battery goes to 20% so we can commit this crime and the cameras are not going to record us? No, man. Come on. Come on, man. If you have committed crimes in the past, man, you understand that you just get it on that mode. You ain't caring. You just gamble with your life right there, and hopefully you get away. That's your mentality, right? If you get caught, well, now that's going to be a different story, of course, you know? We'll see what happens. But doing crime in a Tesla, that thing is cold. You know what I mean? I I don't understand. If you're driving a Tesla, man, trust me, don't go over there and commit crimes, man. That means that you're doing it. That means that you got some money. What are you doing on the streets banging? What are you doing on the streets driving around with some person on the back seat just shooting randomly? Does not make sense, right? Now that we address this situation, now let's see how this makes sense, right? Because in reality, for me, it does not make sense. For me, I believe it's just another random shooting in the streets of LA. We cannot, first of all, man, Big U is out there locked up looking at doing 60 years in prison, federal prison, if that. Meaning he's going to do most of his time. And then to have channels over here saying, hey, man, this is what happened. Big U called this, or the neighborhood from Big U are doing this, responding. Man, it does not even make sense, man. Come on. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just saying. Just because somebody, I'm pretty sure there was multiple shootings around that within 24 hours. That anybody who does content can say, you know what, let me pick this shooting and say, you know what, this was for retaliation. At the end of the day, we don't know. But what you're going to understand is that it's coming. It is coming. I'm putting money on that. It is coming. The messed up part about it is that imagine if that neighborhood that people are claiming did it, the Hoovers didn't even do it. It was just random people driving around, and they happened to be in that neighborhood, well, a neighboring neighborhood. They just call old boy over here, and they did what they did. Now the people are thinking, oh, it was this neighborhood. You don't know that. I don't know that. The people who know this is the people who committed that crime. It is crazy how now, as a content creators, all of us including myself, man, we get some information. We run with the story. And sometimes we commit, or we are careless of the consequences that our story, especially if it goes viral, can bring to a person, to a neighborhood. At the end of the day, man, the streets are the streets, man. People are banging out there. There's going to be consequences. So, hey, don't cry right now, little puppet. It is what it is, right? People are going to get the heat, whether they did it or not. And it's just basically how the streets are. That's how a lot of conflict happens on the streets. You know, sometimes a neighborhood doesn't even do it. Like, come on, man. How many times we heard of, let's say, two neighborhoods who are beefing, right? And here comes the third one, goes to a certain neighborhood, tags on the wall, and basically saying, F your neighborhood, I'm from this neighborhood. And just so those two neighborhoods can go at it. I mean, a lot of people do that. At least when I was out there, a lot of people used to do that. You know, you create conflict between two neighborhoods that you don't even like, and so they can go at one another, right? Maybe this is what's going on right now. Somebody is doing this, maybe saying, banging a certain neighborhood, putting content that is a certain neighborhood when that neighborhood didn't have nothing to do with it. But because it's social media, because a lot of people, a lot of followers believe what we put in our content, they're going to run with that story. I believe that is very responsible. Have I done it before? I believe I put money that I have done it before. Now, did I remember specifically when I have reported on this? No, I don't. But I'm pretty sure I have done it before, you know? And there's people who are still doing it. You have to understand how to give certain information without giving information. You have to be responsible with your reporting. And again, that retaliation is coming. It's coming. Do I believe this event could have been that retaliation? You know what? Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe yeah. Who knows? But without evidence, without having any type of information, how can you say that? You know, I can just have a random incident and just name it. Oh, it was this guys because they retaliated for this thing that happened last week. You know, got nothing to do with it. But again, that is the streets of LA, man. Stay safe. Stay safe. And whether the 60's did it, who knows? But one thing I'm sure, they're gonna do it though. If that was not them, they're gonna do it. Because they just took out somebody's son. Somebody who was a somebody on their neighborhood. And that thing is not gonna slide through like nothing happened. No. There's gonna be big consequences, man. I'm just saying, man. Respect to everybody. At the end of the day, man, we understand the streets of LA are the streets of LA. Simple as that, man. So with this being said, we're out to next video. Saludos a todos. To the next video.